What up? What up? We're back after quite an extended little break there. Good to be back. Make sure if you're getting here early, you smash the like button. Appreciate everyone for showing up. Got some kind of exciting news. Not anything crazy, but take a look at that in 1 second here as I finish setting everything up. Gotta get used to all the clicks again. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I'm not even showing myself. Oh, there we go. I haven't done a live stream in a while. I'm just talking at you from an invisible chart. And we are rolling. All right, boom. I think we're good to go here. Take a look at this. We got the play button. Pretty crazy stuff right there. Let me see if I can. So we officially got the YouTube play button for 100K subscribers. Pretty crazy stuff. Never thought in a million years I'd be holding one of these things. Wanted to show it off real quick. Yeah, pretty crazy accomplishment. Like I said, never did I think I would have one of those play buttons, especially for making XRP crypto content on YouTube. But, you know, the world has a funny way of playing out. So just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. Came in this morning, my roommate came knocking on my door. He's like, "You got something out here?" I was like, "All right, man, let's see what it is." Thank you. Well, thank you to all of you guys, right? I tell people all the time, it's one thing for me to stand behind the camera and make the videos. It's a whole nother thing for you guys to interact with them, throw likes on the videos and all that. So it makes a huge difference, and really appreciate everyone else for helping out. Take a quick look at the XRP price chart. Kind of still in a bit of no man's land. I think we're breaking right now. Another small little downtrend. We kind of came back down after what looked like probably the start of a reversal, and just retested some of these previous supports. So kind of just chilling right back here at this level. And let me draw it. Just really trying to get some momentum out of this thing. But we made the turnaround, we made the reversal. And now it just seems like we're on the back end of it. We got to get some momentum back here to push back up to the upside. Obviously, the bad case scenario here, which I hope we don't see. I don't think we will see. But the thing we don't want to see is XRP get rejected here and move to the downside. That would be that would not be a good case scenario. I don't think we're gonna see it. There's a lot of very bullish things coming here. The ETFs are getting very close, and now we have public companies purchasing XRP. We just had a Chinese company, Weebus, purchase, or is in the process of purchasing, I think 300 million XRP. So that is it's pretty crazy to see that we're already in the stage of this thing where we're going to start having companies build out treasuries on the XRP with XRP. For the longest time, it was Bitcoin's the reserve asset, nothing else. And now suddenly we're already to the point where we're seeing other cryptocurrencies thrown in there. I don't think it's any coincidence that XRP is the first one. Baseball babe, thank you so much. Appreciate that. been quite a journey, man. And really cool to be able to do it with all of you guys. So last video was smoking. Oh, thank you. Well, I've been away for so long. I have to bring some good content. I had to bring some good content now that I'm back here. XRP Vegas was really cool. Had a blast in XRP Vegas. A whole bunch of really, really, really cool people I got to meet there. I think one of the biggest things I learned at XRP Vegas was the difference between kind of what was going on at Bitcoin Vegas and XRP Vegas. Bitcoin Vegas was so focused around miners. It was like the only people who really showed up were people who were just there to show off their mining company. And it's so funny to show off like a mining company because you're kind of just like dumping on everyone, and it's not like you're providing really any utility to the retail people there. So, you know, it's just interesting to see so much attention on the mining companies. I did get to spend a decent amount of time with Dennis Porter. He is the head of the Satoshi Action Fund. Got to talk with him a lot about XRP and really answer a decent amount of his misconceptions. And I thought it was a really good conversation. We kind of just hung out, talked about our thoughts about the cryptocurrency industry quite a bit, and realized we agreed on a lot more than we disagree. So it was cool getting to meet him in person, shake his hand. I think I found out that he's a lot more willing to understand some of these other things and some of the Bitcoin maximalists might come across as. Frankie Crypto says, I've seen so little content from XRP Vegas. Yeah, I was going to post some, but like, I don't really want to step on anyone's feet, you know? I'd imagine Brad Kimes is planning on releasing some of that content. I'm not trying to go release a whole bunch of the content from his conference. I mean, it was outstanding, man. So many great speakers. So it was just out of this world. And to be honest, I didn't even get to watch that many of the keynote speakers. I mean, I obviously showed up when David and Brad were talking, but I'm sure there's a lot of great speakers I didn't even get to see. Fantastic conference, though. I mean, Brad, I mean, that conference is always great. Yeah, I could have recorded it, but like, it's not my conference, you know? I'm not trying to step on people's feet and record things that people don't want recorded. That's that's the last thing I'm trying to do. Take a look at Bitcoin dominance real quick. Haven't really looked at some of these charts since I left, so just trying to catch myself up to speed with everything right here. Take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance, 64%, still in this crazy uptrend. I've been calling a crash in Bitcoin dominance really fairly recently, I would say. What did I just do? I've been calling a crash in Bitcoin dominance pretty recently. It's the first time I'm really keying in on this, and maybe we are at that point of a reversal right here. Doesn't make sense for the Bitcoin dominance just to keep rising and rising infinitely. We're already on this big leg upward, and it seems to me like we're gonna get that crash here pretty soon. It's very uncommon for charts to make moves like this that are just so linear and perfect without them ultimately crashing out pretty hard. So we'll see if this is the time. I thought it was back here. It wasn't. We rebounded back in, and now we're looking for another kind of big pullback down in Bitcoin dominance. And the only way that's going to happen is if another cryptocurrency really starts rising up pretty quickly. Let's see if that has the potential to be XRP. Tracy says, breaking, major Chinese company Weebus has essentially officially filed with the SEC for $300 million in XRP treasury management. Yep, that's awesome. Why are there 2 streams on YouTube? Well, one's a vertical stream and one's a horizontal stream. Baseball Babe says I like golf too. I like golf. I just suck at it. I used to be good. Too much work, not enough golf recently, and have lost all my skill. Crypto Clay, thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate that, man. And I really appreciate you for being here along the way. Crypto Clay, I actually gave you a shout out, I think, in an interview I did with the Staple crew. There's a ton of interviews in XRP Vegas, and I definitely gave some people some shout out. If you have no sound, try using the little 2 buttons on the side of your phone and turning on the sound. Good to see you, Cam. Appreciate it. What big news could come out this week? Crypto View, thanks for the time. Thanks for the zip line. Next time golf. Crypto View, thank you so much, man. Great chilling with you. Had an awesome time. And yeah, no, that was a ton of fun. So we'll definitely get some golf in for sure. XRP has been bleeding against Bitcoin since January. Yeah, Bitcoin's been leading the way a little bit. And let's take a look at the XRP to Bitcoin chart, actually. So it looks like we're starting to finally catch a bid here. After what has been a pretty big sell-off in XRP to Bitcoin. It looks like we're starting to finally put in some green candle here. So we got to hope this is a bit of a reversal here. Right at the bottom. Would not be surprised if this is the bottom. If we can get this to be a little bit of a reversal and start moving back up against Bitcoin, that'd be a really good sign. But we got the green candle coming in. Now we just got to hold it. Who promised where is BlackRock as promised? I don't know if anyone promised BlackRock. I mean, I think BlackRock will file an ETF. I think it'd be highly unusual if they didn't. They've kind of alluded to the fact they would, but none of the XRP ETFs are going live yet. So until the XRP ETFs are closer to going live, I think BlackRock's just saying, you know, we don't need to do this yet. Oh, sorry. What was my favorite experience last week in XRP Vegas? You know, let me think about that. My favorite experience in XRP Vegas was honestly maybe just our first team dinner. It seems kind of lame, but probably just like getting there and like seeing everyone and, you know, just getting to sit down and hang out with everyone prior to everything starting, prior to the craziness starting. Zip line was also awesome. Yeah, me and Crypto View ripped a zip line down Fremont Street. That was really cool. The only thing about the last night was like I was so tired at that point. Like I was so beat up. So No, nothing really crazy. I mean, it was a ton of work. Like I was working the entire time, so it was a ton of work. But ZBCN seems to be a buzzword. What do you think? We can take a look at the ZBCN price. Oh, I'm not going to get a good chart of this, am I? I think I had to drop out of trading view for this. Yeah, it actually looks like it's recovering very nicely here. You know, ZBCN had a bit of a... Oh, here we go. Had a bit of a crash, but it looks like it's putting in that recovery. It's got to continue to push up a little higher. It's got to continue to kind of break out past here, I think, to really show signs of recovery and not fall back lower. But the initial movement here is looking pretty solid. This is not a project I'm personally involved in. I know a lot of people are involved in it. If you were part of this initial big move, congratulations. Me personally, I wouldn't be adding up here unless I was like massively bullish on the project. So if you made that move, congratulations. Me personally, I'm not that big on adding after 600% moves. But I know a lot of people are super stoked on the project. I can't say I'm like over the moon about it yet, but I keep a very, I guess you can call it dense crypto portfolio, right? I keep things pretty large cap, pretty focused around XRP, and it just takes me a long time to add some of those new positions. So if ZBCN continues to gain a lot of adoption over the next couple months and years, I'll start to play out. But you know, I'm not that I'm not the guy who always tries to be early to stuff. I'll let things play out a little bit more. Fire Dog, I am back. It was a ton of fun. Fire Dog, did you ever make it to Vegas? I never saw you hit me up or anything. Were you not able to end up making it? It would have been a real shame if I missed you there. I assumed you never made it. Once we get stablecoin regs, every Fortune 500 company will want to switch. I'll have to check. I'll have to do more research on it, Crypto Clay. I'm still kind of in my initial research phase of it. All's balls. It never hurts to just get that initial out and ride with free money, you know? Never hurts to do that. So sometimes it hurts pulling a little bit of profits, but as long as you leave some on the table to ride and make some money along the way, I don't think it will matter. Oh, dang, Fire Dog. Okay. Well, it makes me feel a little better because I was worried I just like missed you. So let me see real quick what we got going on in the news. I do want to share with you guys something that I think is pretty important. In my opinion, when looking at projects, and this is outside the ZBCN thing. But I want to share with you this because I think it's important. It looks like we now have Colombia, Hong Kong, and Dubai all tokenizing real estate on the XRP ledger. And, you know, I want to bring this to your attention because there's a lot of projects specifically that have like their own coin associated with it, all trying to do this same exact thing. But the reason why people want to do it on the XRP ledger is because that's where all the liquidity is, right? So you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of projects that focus on a lot of like niche use cases. And there's always the problem that people are just going to tokenize directly on the XRP ledger, right? Ripple is the biggest gorilla in the room. And if they want to focus on tokenization of real estate, they could do that tomorrow. And a lot of the big people who are going to want to tokenize real estate are going to go to the places with the most liquidity. So I just think it's interesting, like a lot of between a lot of like the gaming tokens and the real estate stuff and all of that. I just think you got to always keep your eye on these big people like Ripple, because if they want to get into something, it's a little bit like Amazon entering a field. You just got to be careful of like how quickly someone like Ripple can surpass everyone else in the market. Yeah, Ripple could buy Proppy. I did hear a rumor that back in the day, Michael Arrington was trying to get Ripple to buy Proppy, and Ripple just wasn't interested. But I'm curious if anything has changed since then. Reese Merrick said his favorite use case is still payments. Who's I don't know who that is, Taylor. Should I? No, I did not hit up the Rhino in Vegas. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's an exotic club. I did not do that. I did honestly, man, it was like mostly networking. Yeah, Crypto Clay, I know Ripple had the opportunity to purchase Proppy back in the day, and I know they chose to kind of not do that. So I'm curious if that will end up happening in the future. But my point kind of is obviously if Ripple's landing partnerships with Colombia, Hong Kong, and Dubai, you know, these are pretty big deals. You know, maybe Ripple just doesn't feel maybe Ripple just doesn't feel like Proppy, like they need Proppy in the equation. Which is kind of what I wanted to point out here. At the end of the day, you could just tokenize a deed on the XRP ledger, and then all you really need is a marketplace interface. And a lot of the people tokenizing assets on the XRP ledger, they already have the interface. So I don't really see the need for like a token. Maybe I'm wrong, but like there's a lot of, David Short said this before, there's a lot of tokens out there that really don't have any actual purpose. And one of the things that I have the hardest time wrapping my head around, right? I can see a really good project and I can see that it has a lot of potential, but I need to be able to wrap my head around like what the purpose of the token is. Like I can get very excited about a project and what they're building and kind of how they're going to do certain things, but I need to get excited about the token I'm owning and how the token is going to be incorporated into everything. So that's always the hardest part for me. That's one of the reasons why I'm pretty skeptical about a lot of projects. I just need to see like that underlying token, like where is that token going to be used? And If I can get my head wrapped around the importance of the token in the entire system, it's something that I can get like very excited about and like really start saying, okay, this is pretty cool. Like FLR is a great example of that. Like the FLR token is being used as collateral, which is a really cool use case. In my opinion. Taylor says it very well. To Mickle's point, when doing your DD with small cap projects, think, is there a company that can do the same thing cheaper and better with connections? Yeah, pretty much, Taylor. That was always one of my initial problems with Proppy. And guys, it's not to say that I'm going to be right here, right? Like, there's plenty of small cap gems and stuff like that that I've missed out on because I'm pretty conservative in picking some of them out. But that's one of the things, because I was always just wondering, like, if a large real estate company like Blackstone stepped into this market, right, and started tokenizing real estate on the XRP ledger, like, that's going to be the biggest real estate tokenization company by 25 miles, and they already have all the real estate. The problem is a lot of the people kind of trying to come into this tokenized real estate market don't really have any real estate to tokenize. It's kind of like the Circle thing, right? Like, Circle's the biggest stablecoin issuer right now, but if BlackRock started issuing stablecoins for all their internal deposits, BlackRock would be the biggest stablecoin issuer. I don't necessarily think 90% of crypto will go away. I just think there's going to be a group of projects that really pulls away from the rest of everything else. So it's not necessarily that everything else disappears and goes to zero. I just think there's going to be different levels of this. Blockstone. Fire Dog, I don't think I would have picked up on that from like the distance I am from the comment section reading that unless you pointed that out. Yeah, Frankie Crypto, I think that's a decent critique of Quant. I would generally agree. I don't see a ton of like, and I've been out of my understanding of Quant is not where it needs to be refreshed. Let's put it that way. I haven't looked at it in a decently long time. I just kind of have OG Quant tokens that I'm not going to be getting rid of. Let me see if I can find a good chart for Quant. It's always impossible to find a good chart on TradingView. I just gotta have some OG Quant tokens laying around, and I'm not gonna sub them out. But I do kind of, one of the things with Quant, yeah, there's no good Quant chart. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a point in looking at this. I guess I could just go back to CoinMarketCap. Let me go back to CoinMarketCap on Quant. Quant, I think, is one of those projects, though, that does need a better use case for the underlying token. And once again, it's not to say that there's anything wrong with the project. I'm a large holder of Quant. I would just like to see a little bit more concrete sort of stuff on, hey, how is this token going to be used? What's the purpose of the token? Just a little more there, I think, would help a lot and give a lot of certainty to that market. The chart actually looks pretty good, though. I think Quant probably has to get above the 260 level to have like a big reversal going on. I apologize. All the charts for Quant are pretty bad. but it looks like we've hit that long-term bottom at about 58 bucks. Looks like we're trying to reverse out of this thing and start to get some new momentum to the upside. The chart looks solid. It's just one of those things where they move pretty quietly, so it's hard to keep tabs on sort of everything going on there. Silver Days, good to see you, man. I believe I heard Brad Garlinghouse saying Ripple minted close to 20% of USDC's supply. Yeah, at one point, I don't know the actual numbers there, but that is accurate. MoonPay just got a bit license. That's exciting news for MoonPay. Here's the Weebus news. Whoops. 300 million XRP treasury now filed with the SEC. Weebus International Ltd files a $300 million raise for its XRP strategic reserve. Very cool stuff right here. And it looks like they're doing a payments integration with Ripple as well. And they're raising the XRP treasury to help with that payments integration. So I think that also plays into the idea. You keep getting Grant Cardone ads on my videos. That's so funny. Talk about irony, right? At least they're not Gary Cardone ads. Do I know anything about White Rock? I'm pretty skeptical about White Rock right now, to be honest. I would like to be proven wrong. I've seen some from them that I'm pretty skeptical about. Let's put it that way. So I'm not over the moon about White Rock just yet. I need to see a little bit more there. I've seen quite a few announcements that to me look a little sketchy. I don't know if they're created by them. I don't know if they're not created by them. If they're created by them, then it's like, oh, I don't really like it. If it's not created by them and someone else is just making stuff and they're kind of in it, I mean, I don't see them denying anything. So I don't know, man. I'm curious a little bit more about Weebus. See what we can find on them. It looks like it's an Uber kind of company. Looks very similar to sort of what Uber is doing. Changing public transportation. Very interesting. Let's see if I can find some more information. Weebus International. Yeah, so just so pretty much a ride hailing company. Now we just need Uber to have the XRP treasury. Has anyone watched the interview with Jack Cruz on who he thinks Satoshi Nakamoto is? Who did they say in that interview? Who did they say in that interview? I'm curious. Me personally, I'm pretty convinced it's Jack Dorsey. If I was to put my money on anyone being Satoshi, I'd say Jack Dorsey. Not Dorsey? I'm curious if anyone else has some like really good guesses on who it might be. Let's see if there's any other XRP news going on right now. Arthur Britta or David Schwartz? Sussman? All right, I'll take a look at the video. Dennis, maybe if you could send that to me in a DM somewhere, I'll check it out. Actually, I'll just save the name. Jack Cruz. What is it? Is he a YouTuber? Is he is this an X thing? Just let me know where I find this, and I'll check it out. Frankie Crypto says he thinks Jack Dorsey as well. Scott says I started my own XRP treasury as well. Didn't get as much attention. I feel that no one talks about Mickle's XRP treasury. Robert Breedlove Clips does the interview. Let me see. Robert. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, now I should be able to find it. How long ago was it? How long ago was this interview? I think X will just use its own internal database for payments. I don't think they're going to use a blockchain, but I could be wrong. It's vid number 2. Four months ago. Thank you so much, Crypto Rambler. Awesome. Will someone get me the link? Because I can't find the exact video people are talking about. So someone shoot me the link and I'll check it out. Guys, I got to jump. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be back to the normal live streams moving forward. Appreciate you guys all so much. And incredible to get to meet a lot of you at XRP Vegas. Thank you so much for all you guys do. We will be back tomorrow. And guys, for now,